This is the government news brief for Thursday, November 26, 2015. In the news, crime not spiraling out of control, government to restructure implementation of Norway-funded projects to ensure Armenian communities fully benefit, and several major projects to come on stream in Region Number 5. I am Azim Khan. The crime chief has assured the nation that the rate of violent crime is not spiraling out of control, and that the police are doing an even better job than last year. Paul McAdam reports.
Crime rates have been dropping steadily despite the perception of being portrayed by some sections of the media and elements of society. This is according to the crime chief, Wendell Blenheim, who stated that figures show that crime is not spiraling out of control. This is even as the force acknowledges that more needs to be done to provide for the safety of citizens.
Our position is that at one point in time during the year 2015, we were at a 40% increase in terms of serious crimes when you compare 2015 with 2014. Good. The argument that it's spiraling out of control, our present position now, we are at 6% increase. 2 weeks ago, we were at an 8% increase. So basically dispel this whole notion that it's spiraling out of control.
The Ghana Police Force has undertaken several initiatives to boost its crime-fighting capability and capacity. These include additional training for officers and other ranks, locally and overseas. For example, more ranks have been inducted as detectives and are undergoing the requisite training with assistance from international stakeholders. More use of intelligence resources has also led to several breakthroughs in solving a higher number of especially violent crimes. The force's push for better community relations via interventions such as the Community Impact Programs and its Cops and Faith initiative have also realized better results in the force's crime-fighting efforts.
The government is not convinced that projects started with funds from Norway are benefiting Armenian communities and residents. As such, it plans to restructure the implementation of these projects. Senika Thorne reports.
Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Allicock said that the ministry will be reorganizing the implementation process for the projects funded under the Armenian Development Fund. This is to ensure that persons are sensitized about the projects and are provided adequate training, and those responsible are accountable.
When this fund was made available, while it is a good initiative, I think the mechanism was not there to allow full benefit out of the funds spent, because on to now, we have not have one person with a certificate to say that they're trained in mechanics or whatever. The training that was done was a 1-2 day training, which did not gear you enough to understand the seriousness of what this funding was all about or what it meant to be. And that the understanding, it was to have persons trained to help the community in their development in various areas.
During the phase 1 of the community development plans under the ADF, 27 communities were selected to execute the project. 26 received disbursement. It was observed that some of these ventures were not successful.
Some of these ideas were really useful, but because of the lack of management, the lack of accountability, the lack of bringing people together, like transparency, we've ended up in those situations. So we were talking to the new councils. Some are very positive and some are a little negative, but we're trying to work things out, look at these situations in the real sense, in real life. See what could work, what's the issue, how could we fix it if we could fix it, and then we move with it, because I have to realize that there's a lot of time, a lot of money spent, and you just can't give up on something like that without properly investigating.
106 Armenian communities and villages will be supported in their economic development through the implementation of their CDPs. For the Government News Brief, Senika Thorne reporting.
The government has secured US $2.4 million for upgrade and extension of roads in Regions 3 and 5. This will allow for opening of new agricultural lands. Paul McAdam reports.
More agricultural lands will be opened as government moves to upgrade infrastructure at Onfawak, Region 5, Parika and Ruby in Region 3, and Laluni, Region 4.
New lands coming under cultivation means new activity in those areas, and obviously rapid growth in agriculture output and production and incomes to households. This is particularly important in rural communities where activities are sparse relative to urban areas.
Approximately 12 kilometers of asphaltic concrete roads will be constructed, whilst 13 kilometers of all-weather roads will be upgraded and 2 reinforced concrete bridges built. An estimated 9,500 farming households will benefit directly from access to prime agricultural backlands in all seasons, as government aims to help farmers in these areas increase their production, income, and export of cash crops. This will in turn contribute to price stability for vegetables mainly on the domestic market.
We hope that not only will this loan go far to benefit, but it represents what we in the APNU plus AFC government has been saying, which is that we will proceed to do things that will bring about the good life for all Guyanese.
This year, the government has allocated $20.894 billion to the agriculture sector. This is to advance the drive to make Guyana fulfill its potential as the breadbasket of the Caribbean. For the Government News Brief, Paul McAdam reporting.
The Mahaica-Berbice region, Region 5, is set to experience major infrastructure works as tenders were recently advertised for a number of projects. These will see bridges, pumps, roads, and community grounds enhanced. Seneca Thorne reports.
These projects will benefit the 50,000 residents living in the region. Among the projects which are set to give Region 5 a major facelift are construction and rehabilitation of reinforced concrete structures and revetment within Blairmont-Gelderland, rehabilitation and upgrading of streets and footpaths within Rosignol-Zeelost, Forest Cross Street Union, Bel Air Woodlands, Tempe Seafield, Prophet, Rising Sun, and Maikoni Abari, Hamlet Chance and Woodlands Farm. Greenheart bridges are expected to be constructed at Broken Water Land, Belladrum, Under Neeming, and Rosignol-Zeelost. On the drainage side, HDPE tubes are to be supplied and installed within Bath, Woodley Park, Hamlet Chance, and Maikoni Abari areas. The revetment within Bel Air Woodlands is set for rehabilitation, while repairs are to be done on the sanitation block at High Dam, Maikoni. In addition to the roads, bridges, and buildings to be done, the construction of retaining walls and landscaping of the Moraikabai Sports Ground will be for the benefit of youths. These projects are within government's efforts to give all Guyanese a good life. For the Government News Brief, I'm Shanta Goberdan reporting.
Senior citizens' lives will be made much better as a number of steps have been taken by government to ensure they live comfortable lives. Shanaza Low reports.
The coalition government is cognizant of the fact that senior citizens contributed significantly to the overall development of Guyana in their working years and believes that they should now have comfortable lives. It is against this background that special emphasis is placed by the administration on the elderly, with various initiatives being implemented in this regard.
I've seen a vast improvement on the things that are normally used to go on here, right? And I've seen a vast improvement. I've seen coffee being served, sandwiches being served, and things like that. So it's very good. I see chairs outside, which never used to be, and it's very good for the old people.
Those senior citizens who are residents of elderly homes across the country can be assured that the government is ensuring that adequate care and protection is provided to them.
You have to look at it holistically, not only the homes, but also who is taken into a home, what are the other services that are provided there, whether there's a doctor on call, whether there's a nurse, whether the persons who are employed in these institutions, whether they too have the training, the necessary training to take care of these people.
A 5-day training for caregivers at homes for the elderly will conclude tomorrow, Friday, November 27, 2015. The training is specifically aimed at sensitizing them on the needs of seniors and for them to better understand their roles and responsibilities.
You have been watching the Government News Brief for today, Thursday, November 26, 2015. All our programs can be viewed on our website. You can also find us on Facebook and on YouTube. We leave you with our Guyana Nice photo of the day by cameraman Ivan Bentham. Send us your Guyana Nice photo so you too can be featured.